Hope Center for Children is all about building stable, healthy families and making sure that children have a safe place from abuse or neglect. And we do that through 6 key programs. 3 of those are residential in nature. We make sure that there is around-the-clock care and that children that are in situations where they have become victims, that they have a safe place to be and adults who care about them. But then we also have a couple of prevention programs, and actually 95% of the 2,200 children that we serve every single year, we serve out in the community working with their whole family, making sure that that family is wrapped with support so that those children can be safe and thriving at home.
Anchor House is home to 14 teenage girls who are all in foster care. And we are their families. We are the ones that they're celebrating school accomplishments with, and when they make sports teams, we're the ones who are going to their games.
Youth who come to Anchor House, they may stay with us for a few months or they may be there for a few years. And I think particularly about one youth who came at the age of 11, and at that age of 11, she was struggling to read. So she stayed with us for several years, and during that time quickly learned to read. Her grades improved greatly. She started working a part-time job, and eventually they found a family to adopt her. And so she is doing very, very well, and she's learned how to trust adults in her life, which is going to be key to breaking that cycle of abuse and neglect as she grows into a young woman, to know what a healthy relationship looks like. Fawcett House is the first place that kids often come after they've been removed from abuse or neglect. Sometimes it's a police officer that is pulling up in a police car, which is just heartbreaking to think about. And they've experienced all this trauma that's very sudden, and they're coming through doors that all they see in front of them are perfect strangers. And so Fawcett House is that place that has to be the warm welcome.
When a child first comes into our care at Fawcett House, we make sure that every single child gets a bath and clean clothes and something to eat. Many of the children that come into our care either come from school or they come in the middle of the night, so very few of them have much that they get to bring with them. We rely on donations from the community for clothing and shoes and pajamas and underwear to make sure that these children are able to have their most basic needs met as soon as they walk in the door.
At Fawcett House, we continue to wrap them with that support, and we recommend to the Department of Social Services and the court system what that next long-term placement might be so that they're more successful. Triple P at Hope Center for Children is one of the things that excites me the most, because I think it reminds all of us, and it reminds me as a parent, that it is so important for us to be a community that says, you know, this parenting thing's not really that easy.
No matter our job or zip code or how many children we have, not one of us has directions for how to raise children, and we all are faced with the same challenges, and we all need a little help sometimes. So Triple P is designed to allow parents to self-select the amount of help they need, and they can participate in different levels of the curriculum and learn tips and tricks to take home with them that very day, and allow them to see the different aspects of parenting and apply both healthy discipline and positive reinforcement so that they are enjoying parenting and feeling confident in their skills.
We have a transitional living program at Hope Center for Children, and it serves homeless youth between 16 and 22 years old. When we first became Hope Center for Children and we looked at the array of services that we had, it was really clear that that was a gap area in our community that nobody was meeting.
In our new property, each resident has their own room. Within their own room, they're able to personalize it the way they would like so that it feels like home. Because if they're able to feel like home, they're more likely encouraged to meet the goals that they have set. Part of the requirement of the program is that they are employed and or in school. In the transitional living program, we have skills classes, and in the skills classes, we try to make sure that the skills that we are teaching are skills that will be useful in the real world. Skills such as questions to ask when you're going to purchase a car, questions to ask when you are going to rent an apartment, resume building, mock interviews.
We have 18 months to make sure that they get everything that they need to be self-sufficient. And that doesn't sound like very long, but we've actually had really, really outstanding outcomes. So youth come in homeless and without a job and without a support system, and we find that when they leave, they have typically 2 more adult lifelines that they can count on. They have a stable job, they have a safe place to go. Many of them have actually saved up for a car so that transportation is no longer a barrier to their employment during the time that they're with us. And we use this valid, reliable measure called the KC Life Skills Assessment when they first come in, and then we test them again as they're leaving, and it's showing that they really are gaining the skills that they need to be successful long term.
What my hope is that not only do we provide a home to the homeless, we provide hope to the hopeless as well.
We are so grateful for United Way. We not only receive program funding for 4 of our 6 programs, but we are also working partners with the AmeriCorps Vista program. So we've had Vista serving our campus for several years, and we love seeing the outcomes and the capacity that is built from that program. We also benefit from having an AmeriCorps on our campus, and so that volunteer is directly serving our clients so that they are able to grow and become more financially stable in our community. In addition, we refer families to the VITA program, and we appreciate being able to shop at the Gifts in Kind Center. That makes a big difference on our campus. With 38 residential children, we go through a lot of paper towels on our campus, so we certainly appreciate the partnerships that go beyond just the general community investment funding.
If it weren't for Hope Center for Children, there would be a big gap in services. And so the fact that we have that first place for a child to go and get the care that they need is essential.